In the year 2249, humanity had established a thriving interstellar presence. Space stations and colonies dotted the Milky Way, with Earth serving as the central hub of a burgeoning alliance of intelligent species. This period of peace and prosperity was abruptly shattered when a sleek, unidentified spacecraft appeared in orbit around Earth. The ship, unlike any seen before, emitted a series of distress signals. After cautious deliberation, the United Earth Council agreed to allow the ship to dock at the orbital station, Unity. A contingent of elite soldiers, diplomats, and scientists awaited the arrival of the alien envoy. As the airlock cycled open, a figure emerged, shrouded in a shimmering, translucent cloak. The being was tall, with an elongated face and luminous blue skin. Its eyes, large and reflective, scanned the room with an unnerving intensity. The alien identified itself as Ambassador Xylar from the peaceful Aurelian race, known for their diplomatic skills and neutrality in galactic affairs. Ambassador Xylar's message was dire. "The Salvator Empire has declared war on humanity," it said, its voice resonating with a strange musical quality. "They see your species as a threat to their dominion and have vowed to annihilate you." The room erupted into chaos. Questions were hurled at the envoy, but Xylar remained calm. "The Salvators are ruthless and powerful. They will strike without warning. You must prepare for the worst." President Evelyn Ross, the leader of the United Earth Council, stepped forward. "Why are you helping us?" she asked, suspicion evident in her voice. Xylar's eyes softened. "The Aurelians value life and peace. The Salvator's expansion threatens us all. Your survival is crucial for maintaining balance in the galaxy. We will provide what aid we can, but the battle ahead will be yours to fight." With the envoy's warning, humanity was thrust into a race against time to prepare for the inevitable conflict. The Salvators wasted no time. Within days of Xylar's warning, their warships, sleek and deadly, appeared on the outskirts of human-occupied space. New Horizon, the outermost human colony, became their first target. New Horizon was a thriving settlement on a lush green planet, known for its agricultural exports and strategic location. Its defenses, though robust, were not prepared for the ferocity of the Salvator attack. The initial assault came without warning. Salvator ships, black and angular, descended through the atmosphere, raining plasma fire on the colony's infrastructure. The planet's defense forces scrambled to respond. Colonel James Cartwright, the seasoned commander of New Horizons garrison, directed his troops with precision and valor. "All units return fire. Protect the civilians," he barked into his comm device. Despite their bravery, the defenders were overwhelmed. Salvator ground troops, clad in advanced exoskeletons and armed with devastating energy weapons, landed on the planet's surface, cutting through the human lines with ruthless efficiency. The air was filled with the sounds of battle, explosions, gunfire, and the screams of the wounded. Captain Laura Quinn, stationed on the nearby battleship Aegis, watched the unfolding horror through live feeds. The Aegis, one of Earth's most formidable warships, was too far to intervene in time. Her fists clenched in frustration and determination. "We need to get there now," she ordered, her voice steely. "Prepare for immediate jump to New Horizon." As the Aegis made the jump through hyperspace, the situation on New Horizon grew increasingly dire. Colonel Cartwright and his remaining forces made a desperate last stand at the colony's central command center. "Hold the line," he shouted, even as Salvator soldiers closed in. The Aegis emerged from hyperspace above New Horizon, its cannons blazing as it engaged the Salvator fleet. The battle in space was as fierce as the one on the ground, with ships from both sides exchanging volleys of deadly fire. Captain Quinn directed her crew with unwavering focus, exploiting every tactical advantage. Despite their efforts, the damage was done. The Salvators had inflicted catastrophic losses on New Horizon. The Aegis managed to repel the enemy fleet, but the colony was in ruins. Captain Quinn ordered immediate evacuation of survivors, her heart heavy with the weight of the lives lost. As the remaining civilians were ferried to safety, Quinn addressed her crew. "We've seen what they can do. We won't let this happen again. We will strike back with everything humanity has." The first strike by the Salvators had left a scar, but it also ignited a fire within the human spirit. The battle for survival had begun, and humanity was ready to fight back with unyielding resolve. Captain Laura Quinn and her crew knew that humanity could not face the Salvatore threat alone. They needed to rally the members of the Intergalactic Coalition, a fragile alliance of various intelligent species. The first stop on their diplomatic mission was the Alarian homeworld, a serene planet known for its lush landscapes and ancient wisdom. The Aegis arrived in orbit, and Quinn, along with her diplomatic team, descended to the planet's capital, Ilara City. The Alarian Council, comprised of serene and wise beings with a deep sense of tradition, welcomed them with open arms. Council leader Seraphin, an elderly Alarian with a gentle demeanor and piercing eyes, listened intently as Quinn outlined the Salvatore threat. "Your cause is just," Seraphin said, his voice like a soothing melody. "But the Alarian people are weary of war. Convincing the Council to take up arms will not be easy." Undeterred, Quinn spent hours negotiating, appealing to the Council's sense of duty, and the potential threat to their own world if the Salvatores were not stopped. Her efforts bore fruit as Seraphin eventually agreed to provide diplomatic support and resources, though military assistance was still a point of contention. Next, the Aegis set course for the Graxian homeworld. The Graxians were a warrior race, their culture steeped in honor and combat. Upon arrival, Quinn was greeted by Warlord Korgath, a towering figure clad in ornate battle armor. Korgath was skeptical of an alliance, viewing the humans as unproven in the crucible of war. Quinn requested a private audience with Korgath, where she shared the harrowing details of the New Horizon attack. "We fight not just for survival, but for the future of all free species in the galaxy," she implored. "The Salvatores won't stop with us. They will come for you too." Korgath's eyes narrowed, but there was a flicker of respect in his gaze. "Your words carry the weight of truth and conviction," he acknowledged. "The Graxian warriors will stand with you, but know this: our honor is bound to victory. We do not suffer defeat lightly." Finally, the Aegis made its way to the Vortan system, where the technologically advanced Vortans resided. The Vortans were a highly logical and strategic race, their society built on the pursuit of knowledge and innovation. The reception here was cooler, with Chief Scientist Zara conducting the initial meetings. Zara was intrigued by the human resolve, but expressed concerns about the practicality of a military alliance. "Our resources are vast, but we do not engage in wars without significant cause," she stated. Quinn, understanding the Vortan need for empirical evidence, presented data and strategic analyses on the Salvatore threat, emphasizing the mutual benefits of cooperation. Days turned into weeks as Quinn and her team navigated the complex web of diplomacy. Their efforts culminated in a historic meeting on the neutral ground of the Intergalactic Space Station, Nexus Prime. Representatives from the Alarian, Graxian, and Vortan races gathered, and after intense deliberations, the Intergalactic Coalition was solidified. The United Front brought renewed hope to humanity and its allies. With the coalition formed, it was time to bolster their military capabilities. Intelligence reports indicated that the Vortans had developed advanced weaponry and stealth technology, which could provide a critical edge. Commander Henry "Hank" Williams, known for his tactical genius and fearless approach, was chosen to lead a covert operation to secure these assets. The mission was fraught with danger. The Vortan Research Facility, located on a remote asteroid in a heavily guarded sector, was a fortress of advanced security systems and robotic sentinels. Williams assembled a small, elite team comprised of human and Vortan operatives, each selected for their expertise in infiltration, combat, and technology. The team's journey to the facility was stealthy, avoiding detection by navigating through dense asteroid fields. Upon arrival, they faced the first hurdle, a sophisticated security grid that could detect the slightest anomaly. Vortan technician Lyra, an expert in cyber warfare, managed to hack the system, creating a small window for the team to slip through unnoticed. Inside the facility, the team moved swiftly and silently. The corridors were dimly lit, and the hum of machinery echoed through the sterile environment. As they approached the central lab, they encountered resistance, automated defense drones activated, targeting the intruders with lethal precision. Williams and his team engaged in a tense firefight, utilizing EMP grenades and advanced tactics to disable the drones. Reaching the core of the lab, they found the experimental plasma cannons and stealth modules, guarded by a final layer of security, a formidable Vortan combat unit. A fierce battle ensued, with Williams demonstrating exceptional leadership and combat skills, coordinating his team's efforts to outmaneuver and neutralize the threat. With the weapons secured, the team initiated the extraction phase. Alarms blared as the facility's security protocols kicked in, sealing exits and deploying reinforcements. Time was running out. Lyra worked frantically to override the lockdown, while the rest of the team held off waves of robotic defenders. Finally, the security system was breached, and the team made their escape, racing through the facility as it self-destructed behind them. The mission was a success, and they returned to the Aegis with the invaluable Vortan technology. Back on the ship, Captain Quinn commended Williams and his team for their bravery and ingenuity. The new plasma cannons and stealth modules were swiftly integrated into the Coalition's fleet, significantly enhancing their combat capabilities. The stage was set for the next phase of the war against the Salvatores, and humanity stood ready, armed with the best the galaxy had to offer. Armed with the newly acquired Vortan technology, Captain Laura Quinn and her crew devised a plan to strike back at the Salvatores. Their target was a Salvatore supply convoy that provided critical resources to the enemy's forward operating bases. The Oort Nebula, a dense cloud of gas and debris, was chosen as the ambush site due to its natural concealment properties. Lieutenant Mei Ling, an ace pilot renowned for her precision and daring maneuvers, was tasked with leading the fighter squadron. The Aegis and its fleet hid within the nebula, their stealth modules activated to avoid detection. The tension was palpable as the crew waited, sensors tuned to detect the approaching Salvatore ships. Finally, the convoy emerged from hyperspace, a line of heavily armored transport ships escorted by a contingent of warships. Quinn gave the order to attack. All units, engage. Take out the escorts first, then disable the transports. The human and allied fighters burst from the nebula, catching the Salvatores off guard. Mei Ling led her squadron with unmatched skill, weaving through enemy fire and launching precision strikes that crippled the escort ships. The nebula's thick clouds provided cover, allowing the coalition ships to strike and retreat, confusing the enemy. In the heart of the battle, the Aegis unleashed its new plasma cannons, tearing through the Salvatore ships with devastating effect. The enemy, caught in the chaos of the ambush, struggled to mount an effective defense. One by one, their warships fell, and the convoy was left vulnerable. Quinn directed her fleet to disable the transport ships without destroying them, hoping to capture valuable resources and intelligence. Boarding teams, led by seasoned Marines, stormed the Salvatore transports. Fierce close-quarters combat ensued, with the Marines overcoming the surprised Salvatore troops through a combination of superior tactics and sheer determination. As the dust settled, the coalition emerged victorious. The ambush had not only dealt a significant blow to the Salvatore supply lines, but also boosted morale across the fleet. The captured transports yielded crucial intelligence on enemy movements and strategies, providing the coalition with a strategic advantage. Quinn addressed her crew, pride evident in her voice. Today we've shown the Salvatores that we will not be easily defeated. This victory is just the beginning. We will continue to fight, and we will prevail. While the fleet celebrated their victory, a darker threat loomed closer to home. Back on Earth, political intrigue threatened to unravel the fledgling alliance. Senator Yarrick, a prominent human politician with a history of controversial stances, was discovered to be a Salvatore spy. His betrayal came to light when Special Agent Sarah Kent, a sharp and relentless investigator, uncovered evidence of his treachery. Agent Kent had long suspected that something was amiss. Yarrick's policies often undermined the coalition's efforts, and his connections to shady characters raised red flags. She launched a covert investigation, meticulously piecing together clues that led her to Yarrick's clandestine meetings and encrypted communications with Salvatore agents. The breakthrough came when Kent intercepted a transmission that detailed Jarek's plan to sabotage key military operations and leak classified information to the Salvatores. With irrefutable evidence in hand, she presented her findings to President Evelyn Ross. "Jarek's actions are a grave threat to our security," Kent stated, her voice steady. "We need to act swiftly to contain the damage and prevent further breaches." President Ross, though shocked by the revelation, acted decisively. Jarek was arrested and brought before a tribunal, where the extent of his betrayal was laid bare. The fallout was immediate and severe. Security protocols were tightened, and a thorough investigation was launched to identify and neutralize any other potential threats within the government. Despite the quick response, the breach had already caused significant harm. The Salvatores, armed with insider knowledge, launched a series of coordinated attacks on key human installations. The damage was extensive, with several outposts and supply lines compromised. Quinn, now faced with the dual challenges of external assault and internal betrayal, convened an emergency meeting with her senior officers and allied leaders. "We must not let this setback weaken our resolve," she declared. "We will root out any remaining traitors and strengthen our defenses. The Salvatores will not divide us." Agent Kent, now leading the counterintelligence efforts, worked tirelessly to secure the coalition's networks and uncover any additional threats. Her relentless pursuit of security and justice helped to restore a measure of trust within the ranks. In the midst of these efforts, Admiral Marcus Donovan proposed a daring plan to reclaim lost ground and strike a decisive blow against the Salvatores. "We need to take the fight to them. Hit them where it hurts," he urged. "A coordinated assault on their forward bases will show that we're not defeated." The plan was risky, but it offered a chance to regain the initiative. The coalition forces, bolstered by their recent victories and renewed resolve, prepared for a series of offensives designed to disrupt the Salvatore war machine and reclaim their position in the galaxy. With determination and unity, humanity and its allies braced for the battles ahead, knowing that their survival depended on their ability to stand together against the formidable Salvatore threat. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, was a critical stronghold for humanity. Its strategic location and advanced defense installations made it a prime target for the Salvatores. The enemy launched a full-scale assault, deploying their largest fleet yet. The skies above Titan filled with the black, angular silhouettes of Salvatore warships, blocking out the stars. Admiral Marcus Donovan, a veteran of countless battles, took command of the defense. His plan was to use Titan's unique terrain and fortifications to their advantage. "We must hold the line here," Donovan addressed his officers. "Titan is our bastion. If we lose it, the path to Earth will be wide open." The initial wave of the Salvatore assault was ferocious. Their ships unleashed a relentless barrage of plasma fire, targeting the moon's orbital defenses. Titan's array of heavy railguns and missile batteries responded in kind, lighting up the darkness of space with deadly precision. On the ground, Commander Celine Vasquez coordinated the ground forces. She was a tactical genius with a reputation for turning the tide in desperate situations. "Defend the command center at all costs," she ordered, her voice steady despite the chaos. Graxian shock troops, known for their brute strength and combat prowess, bolstered the human defenders. The battle raged for days. Titan's thick atmosphere became a battleground, with fighters and bombers from both sides engaging in deadly dogfights. The Salvatores deployed advanced siege machinery, attempting to breach the heavily fortified command center. Vasquez and her troops fought valiantly, using hit-and-run tactics to harass and slow the enemy advance. The turning point came when a daring counterattack, led by Graxian warriors and supported by Vortan stealth drones, managed to break through the Salvatore siege lines. Admiral Donovan seized the opportunity, directing the fleet to press the attack. The coalition ships, leveraging their superior knowledge of Titan's defenses and the new plasma cannons, inflicted heavy losses on the Salvatore fleet. As the Salvatore forces began to falter, the coalition launched a final, decisive assault. Ground troops, supported by aerial bombardments, pushed the Salvatores back. The skies cleared as the remnants of the enemy fleet retreated, their defeat broadcast across the galaxy. Admiral Donovan stood in the command center, looking at the exhausted but triumphant faces around him. "We've held Titan," he said, his voice filled with pride. "This victory proves that we can withstand anything they throw at us. Now it's time to take the fight to them." In the aftermath of the siege, an unexpected discovery offered a glimmer of hope. Dr. Elena Ramirez, a brilliant archaeologist, received a mysterious signal from a remote part of the galaxy. The signal contained fragments of ancient Illyrian texts, hinting at a powerful weapon known as the Celestial Lance, capable of destroying entire fleets. The texts describe the Celestial Lance as a relic from a long-forgotten era, hidden on a lost planet shrouded in myth. Dr. Ramirez, with her expertise in ancient civilizations, deciphered the coordinates and realized the significance of the find. "This weapon could turn the tide of the war," she explained to Captain Quinn. "We need to find it before the Salvators do." Quinn and her crew, including Dr. Ramirez, embarked on a perilous journey to locate the lost planet. The mission was fraught with danger, as the Salvators, having intercepted parts of the signal, were also in pursuit. The race to find the Celestial Lance became a high-stakes chase through uncharted space. Navigating through treacherous asteroid fields and hostile environments, the Aegis evaded Salvator patrols and encountered various challenges. The journey tested the crew's resilience and resourcefulness, with every step bringing them closer to their goal and closer to enemy ambushes. The trail led them to a star system enveloped by a dense nebula. The lost planet, known as Thaloria, lay hidden within. Its surface was barren, scarred by ancient wars, but the coordinates pointed to a massive ancient structure buried deep underground. Dr. Ramirez led an expedition team to explore the ruins. The ancient structure was a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers filled with traps and remnants of long-lost technology. As they delved deeper, they uncovered more clues about the Celestial Lance and its origins. However, the Salvators were not far behind. Their forces landed on Thaloria, leading to a series of skirmishes within the ancient ruins. The expedition team, despite being outnumbered, used the environment to their advantage, setting traps and ambushes to slow the enemy advance. The final confrontation took place in the heart of the ruins, where the Celestial Lance was entombed. A fierce battle erupted as the humans and their allies fought desperately to secure the weapon. Dr. Ramirez, working alongside Vortan engineers, managed to activate the lance just as the Salvators breached their defenses. The Celestial Lance, an immense and awe-inspiring weapon, roared to life. Its energy obliterated the Salvator forces, securing a decisive victory for the coalition. The relic's power was awe-inspiring, and its discovery marked a turning point in the war. Returning to the Aegis, Dr. Ramirez and Captain Quinn knew that the Celestial Lance would be a game-changer. The weapon was transported back to the Coalition's base for further study and integration into their arsenal. With this newfound power, humanity and its allies were more determined than ever to push back the Salvators and reclaim their place in the galaxy. With the Celestial Lance secured, Captain Quinn and her crew knew they had to find a way to harness its full potential. However, the ancient texts hinted at another artifact necessary to unlock the Lance's true power: the Starforge, a device of immense energy said to be hidden on a different lost planet. The Aegis, now equipped with advanced Vortan technology and bolstered by the Graxian warriors, embarked on another perilous journey. The coordinates, decoded by Dr. Elena Ramirez, led them to an uncharted sector of the galaxy, known for its volatile star systems and gravitational anomalies. The Salvators, having recovered from their recent defeat, were determined to prevent the coalition from gaining any further advantage. Their spies had intercepted fragments of Dr. Ramirez's research, and a powerful Salvator fleet led by the cunning General Zorthar was dispatched to intercept the Aegis. The race to the lost planet, dubbed Orinthar by ancient Illyrian legends, was on. The journey was fraught with challenges, including navigating through dangerous asteroid fields and skirting the event horizon of a black hole. Lieutenant Mei Ling's unparalleled piloting skills were put to the test as she maneuvered the Aegis through these treacherous regions. As they approached Orinthar, the crew of the Aegis detected the presence of the Salvator fleet. Captain Quinn ordered a full sensor sweep and prepared the ship for imminent combat. "We can't let them reach the Starforge first," she declared, her voice filled with determination. The initial skirmish in orbit was intense. The Salvatores deployed a mix of heavy warships and agile fighters, their superior numbers threatening to overwhelm the Aegis. However, the Coalition fleet, using their new stealth technology and plasma cannons, managed to hold their ground. Mei Ling led her squadron in daring hit-and-run attacks, taking out key Salvatore ships and disrupting their formations. Meanwhile, a landing party was assembled to search for the Starforge on the planet's surface. Dr. Ramirez, leading the expedition, was accompanied by a mix of human marines, Vortan engineers, and Graxian warriors. The terrain was harsh, a desolate wasteland with treacherous weather and hostile native creatures. The Salvatores, undeterred by their losses in space, deployed ground troops to contest the Coalition's advance. A series of brutal skirmishes ensued across the planet's surface. The Coalition forces, leveraging their superior tactics and diverse strengths, managed to push forward despite heavy resistance. The climax of the race occurred in the heart of Oranthar's largest mountain range, where the Starforge was said to be hidden within a massive cavern system. The expedition team fought their way through Salvatore troops, the narrow passages and treacherous climbs adding to the difficulty. Dr. Ramirez, using her knowledge of ancient Illyrian scripts, deciphered the final clues that led them to the entrance of the Starforge chamber. Inside the cavern, a fierce battle broke out. The Salvatore forces, led by General Zorthar himself, launched a desperate assault to seize control of the artifact. The Coalition team, outnumbered and exhausted, fought with everything they had. In a moment of sheer bravery, Graxian warlord Korgath engaged Zorthar in single combat, allowing Dr. Ramirez and the engineers to access the Starforge. As Korgath and Zorthar clashed, Dr. Ramirez activated the Starforge. The ancient device roared to life, sending out a pulse of energy that resonated with the celestial lance. The Salvatores, realizing their imminent defeat, began to retreat. Korgath, though wounded, managed to defeat Zorthar, solidifying the Coalition's victory. The Starforge, now fully operational, was transported back to the Coalition's base, where it was integrated with the celestial lance. With these powerful artifacts in their possession, humanity and its allies were poised to turn the tide of the war once and for all. The integration of the Starforge with the celestial lance marked a significant turning point. The Coalition, now armed with the most powerful weapon in the galaxy, prepared for a decisive confrontation with the Salvatores. Intelligence reports indicated that the Salvatores were regrouping at their primary stronghold, a heavily fortified planet known as Cathar. Captain Quinn and Admiral Marcus Donovan devised a bold plan to strike at the heart of the Salvatore Empire. The Coalition fleet, now reinforced with advanced weaponry and united under a single command, would launch a full-scale assault on Cathar. The goal was to eliminate the Salvatore leadership and shatter their command structure. The journey to Cathar was filled with anticipation. The fleet, consisting of human battleships, Illyrian cruisers, Graxian war barges, and Vortan stealth ships, moved as one cohesive unit. The combined might of the Coalition was a formidable sight, a testament to the unity forged through hardship and shared purpose. Upon reaching Cathar, the Coalition fleet was met with fierce resistance. The Salvatores had amassed their remaining forces, including their most advanced warships and defensive installations. The battle began with a massive exchange of fire, the void of space lighting up with explosions and energy beams. Admiral Donovan, commanding from the flagship Eternity, directed the fleet with strategic brilliance. The Coalition ships engaged in coordinated maneuvers, using their diverse capabilities to outflank and outgun the Salvatore defenses. The Vortan stealth ships, equipped with the latest cloaking technology, penetrated deep into enemy lines, delivering crippling blows to key targets. On the ground, Captain Quinn led the charge. The Coalition Marines, supported by Graxian shock troops and Illyrian commandos, launched an all-out assault on the Salvatore Command Center. The Celestial Lance, now fully operational and mounted on a mobile platform, was the spearhead of their attack. The battle on Cathar's surface was fierce and chaotic. The Salvatore defenders, determined to protect their homeworld, fought with ferocity. The coalition forces, however, were driven by the knowledge that this battle could end the war. The Celestial Lance, wielded by Dr. Ramirez and a team of Vortan engineers, unleashed its devastating power, obliterating Salvatore fortifications and clearing the path for the ground troops. In the midst of the battle, Captain Quinn confronted General Zorthar, who had survived their previous encounter. The duel was intense, a clash of wills and skills. Quinn's determination and strategic prowess ultimately prevailed, and she managed to defeat Zorthar, dealing a critical blow to the Salvatore leadership. With the Salvatore command structure in disarray and their defenses crumbling, the coalition forces pushed forward, capturing the Salvatore Emperor's palace. The Emperor, a figure of immense power and cruelty, was captured alive. The sight of their defeated leader broke the spirit of the remaining Salvatore troops, leading to a full-scale retreat. The victory on Cathar was total. The Salvatore Empire, once a formidable threat, was now in ruins. The coalition forces celebrated their hard-won triumph, knowing that they had secured not just their survival, but a lasting peace for the galaxy. Captain Quinn, standing amidst the ruins of the Salvatore Palace, reflected on the journey that had brought them here. The battles fought, the alliances forged, and the sacrifices made had all led to this moment. With the Salvatore threat neutralized, humanity and its allies could finally look to the future with hope and determination. With the Salvatore Empire in disarray and their forces scattered, Admiral Marcus Donovan wasted no time in planning a decisive strike against the Salvatore homeworld. The goal was clear: capture the Salvatore Emperor and dismantle the remaining power structure of their oppressive regime. The coalition fleet, now bolstered by their recent victories and the integration of the Celestial Lance, set a course for the Salvatore homeworld, Zinthar. The journey was tense, with every member of the fleet aware that this could be the final battle. Morale was high, but so was the anticipation of the unknown challenges that lay ahead. As the fleet approached Zinthar, they were met with the last remnants of the Salvatore Navy. These forces, although significantly weakened, were still formidable and desperate. Admiral Donovan ordered the fleet to engage in a full frontal assault, using the advanced technology and tactical acumen that had brought them victory in previous battles. The space above Zinthar erupted into a chaotic melee. The Salvatores, fighting with the desperation of those defending their homeland, launched wave after wave of attacks. The coalition, however, held firm. The Celestial Lance, now fully operational and calibrated, was used to devastating effect, breaking through the toughest Salvatore defenses. On the ground, Captain Laura Quinn led an elite strike team composed of human marines, Graxian warriors, and Alarian commandos. Their mission was to infiltrate the Salvatore Emperor's palace and capture him alive. The team descended to the planet's surface in stealth shuttles, avoiding detection thanks to the Vortan cloaking technology. The capital city of Zinthar was a sprawling metropolis, its architecture both grand and intimidating. The palace itself was a fortress, heavily guarded by the Emperor's elite troops. As Quinn's team approached, they encountered fierce resistance. The corridors of the palace became battlegrounds, with the coalition forces pushing through room by room. In the heart of the palace, Quinn finally confronted the Salvatore Emperor, a towering figure clad in ornate, intimidating armor. The Emperor's presence exuded power and menace. "You have come far, human," he snarled, "but this is where your journey ends." The battle between Quinn's team and the Emperor's guards was intense. The coalition forces, despite being outnumbered, fought with unmatched determination. Quinn herself engaged the Emperor in combat. The fight was brutal, a clash of strength and willpower. With her strategic thinking and combat training, Quinn managed to outmaneuver the Emperor, eventually disarming and capturing him. As the Emperor was subdued, the remaining Salvatore forces began to crumble. The capture of their leader broke their spirit, leading to a swift and decisive end to the conflict. The coalition forces secured the palace, ensuring the safety of the captured Emperor and preparing for the next steps in dismantling the Salvatore regime. Back on the Aegis, Admiral Donovan and Captain Quinn received news of their success with a mixture of relief and triumph. The fall of the Salvatore Emperor marked the end of a long and brutal war. The galaxy was finally free from the shadow of the Salvatore Empire. The war was over, but the galaxy bore the scars of the conflict. Entire colonies lay in ruins, and countless lives had been lost. As the coalition forces began the process of rebuilding, the leaders of humanity and their allies convened to discuss the future. Captain Quinn, now celebrated as a hero, struggled with the weight of command and the memories of those lost in battle. She knew that victory came at a steep price. The crew of the Aegis, though victorious, had endured significant sacrifices. Quinn spent time visiting wounded soldiers and attending memorials for the fallen, ensuring their sacrifices were not forgotten. Admiral Donovan, along with leaders from the Ilarian, Graxian, and Vortan races, focused on establishing a lasting peace. The Intergalactic Coalition, initially formed as a wartime alliance, was now transitioning into a peacetime governing body. They worked tirelessly to create policies that would promote unity, reconstruction, and the prevention of future conflicts. One of the first initiatives was the reconstruction of New Horizon, the first colony attacked by the Salvatores. This effort symbolized the resilience and determination of the human spirit. Volunteers from across the galaxy came to assist in the rebuilding efforts, bringing advanced technology and resources to restore the colony to its former glory. Dr. Elena Ramirez, still a key figure in the coalition, turned her attention to preserving and studying the ancient technologies they had discovered during the war. The celestial lance and the star forge, though powerful, were also a reminder of the destructive potential of unchecked power. Ramirez advocated for their use in defense and exploration, ensuring they were never wielded for conquest or oppression. The Salvatore Emperor, now a prisoner, was held accountable for the atrocities committed under his rule. A tribunal was established to bring justice to the countless victims of the Salvatore Empire. This process was crucial for healing and moving forward, demonstrating that even the most powerful could not escape the consequences of their actions. As the galaxy began to heal, new alliances and friendships blossomed. The shared experience of the war had forged strong bonds between the different species. Trade, cultural exchange, and cooperative exploration missions became common, fostering a sense of unity and mutual respect. Captain Quinn, after months of tireless work, finally took a moment to reflect. She stood on the bridge of the Aegis, looking out at the stars. The galaxy, once again, held promise and potential. The war had shown the darkest sides of conflict, but it had also revealed the strength and resilience of those who fought for a better future. Admiral Donovan addressed the Coalition Assembly, summarizing their achievements and the road ahead. "We have faced the darkness and emerged victorious," he said, "but our greatest challenge is to ensure that the peace we have won endures. Together we will rebuild and explore the vast possibilities of our galaxy. This is just the beginning." The price of victory was high, but it had paved the way for a new era of cooperation and discovery. Humanity and its allies looked to the future with hope, ready to explore the unknown and build a lasting legacy of peace and prosperity. As the galaxy began to heal from the ravages of war, the Coalition turned its focus toward rebuilding and exploring the potential of their newfound unity. The Intergalactic Coalition, now a permanent governing body, spearheaded efforts to restore damaged planets, stabilize economies, and foster interspecies cooperation. Captain Laura Quinn, now a renowned figure across the galaxy, was appointed as the head of the Coalition's new exploratory division. Her mission was to lead expeditions into uncharted territories, seeking out new civilizations and resources, and extending the hand of friendship to unknown worlds. The Aegis, having been refitted with the latest technology, was at the forefront of these missions. Quinn's first major expedition was to the distant Nebula 7, a region rumored to contain rich deposits of rare minerals and potential new allies. The journey through the nebula was challenging, with its unpredictable gravitational anomalies and dense asteroid fields. Yet, the crew's spirits were high, fueled by the promise of discovery and the desire to forge new bonds. The Aegis entered the nebula, its sensors scanning for any signs of habitable planets or intelligent life. After several days of navigating through the dense clouds, they discovered a planet teeming with life. Initial scans indicated a highly advanced civilization, and a first contact team was assembled. Upon landing, they were greeted by the Seraphon, a species with a unique blend of biological and technological advancements. The Seraphon, possessing intricate bioorganic technology, were both curious and cautious of the newcomers. Captain Quinn, alongside Dr. Elena Ramirez, initiated diplomatic talks, sharing their experiences and the benefits of intergalactic cooperation. The Seraphon, impressed by the coalition's unity and achievements, agreed to join the alliance. Their advanced bioengineering and ecological technologies promised to revolutionize many aspects of coalition life, from medicine to environmental restoration. This new partnership was a testament to the potential of peace and cooperation. Back on Earth, President Evelyn Ross announced the formation of the Galactic Council, a democratic body representing all member species. This council aimed to ensure fair representation and decision-making, fostering an inclusive and harmonious galaxy. Quinn's successful mission and the inclusion of the Seraphon were highlighted as milestones in this new era. Quinn, standing in the Grand Hall of the newly established Galactic Council headquarters, addressed the gathered representatives. "We have endured great trials and emerged stronger. Our unity is our greatest strength, and together we will continue to explore, learn, and grow. The future is bright, and it belongs to all of us."